What up, figure freaks? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Gingivitis75, your blue collar collector, coming at ya with another action figure review. Today we're doing the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Carded G.I. Joe Trooper. Now this is an army builder. Coming around the back of the box, we got the rest of this enormous wave of two figures. The Cobra Bat, which we will be doing hopefully sooner than later. Of course, we got that awesome info battle card that I do cut out. And we got a little picture there of our guy. And we do have a little write-up. G.I. Joe Troopers are the unsung support staff that keep the G.I. Joe Special Operations Force functioning. Among their many vital tasks, these green shirts provide infantry combat, tactical support, material supply, vehicle maintenance and repair, and sentry duties. Without these grunts backing up our heroes, the Joe team would fail in their mission of defending against Cobra. Alright, so here we got it. I will be cutting that out, as well as the Cobra Bat card. I purchased two of each of these so I can put one away and open the other one. And I don't know, I might get more eventually. And then let's look in here. Got multiple heads. We got a gun. We got that nice knife, which is actually, wow, they actually painted it. So they did the silver blade with the handle, a different color. Sometimes you don't get that. We got some guns. We got a bunch of hands. And then, of course, we got that lovely stand. So let's open this bad boy up and see what the G.I. Joe Trooper is all about. All right, out of the box, we got our action figure standing in front of my glass, and that is East Lake Brewery and Tap Room, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Quick shameless plug there. And it's filled with this drink that my friend gave to me. It is Brez Social Tonic Lemon Elderflower. Got this stuff in it. So we'll see what happens as the review progresses, whether I'm gonna slow down like 40% and you guys will just be like, oh, it's just him, he's just an idiot, or I mean, I guess we'll see. I don't really mess around with these, so we'll see what happens here. Might be fun. So back to the accessories. He has the trigger figure hands attached to the figure, but of course we have the fists, right? And then we got the Bite Man. Goddamn devil hands. Got those fists, and then of course we got the Caucasian trigger hands. And then we have our black stand with the G.I. Joe star shooting across it. double pegged. Going for the guns now. We got this. We've seen this before. Stalker. I can't remember who else, but we know there's been a couple. Ooh, I guess that's hidden. That doesn't matter. Little paint scrape there on the magazine. You just insert it like that. And then, of course, there's the signature GI Joe rifle. Dual chromatic, which is pretty nice. The pistol, same shit, two different shades of paint. We got kind of the green on the handle, on the grip there. And the rest is kind of a tan, I don't know. Is it tan gray? I don't know. And then we have the blade. Getting better with the paint. We got the helmet, which is basically the same thing as what came with the Retro Duke, I believe. Got the little eye shield that goes down, swings up. And then we got the alt head. And that is a neck joint as well as the head on top of the ball joint at the top of the neck. Pretty decent head sculpt, I would say. The eyes okay? Eyes are okay. So not too bad, not too bad. And then we'll look at the figure here. Kind of got that 5 o'clock shadow going on. Trying to get a good shot of the eyes. They look decent. Pretty nice straps. We got that holster, the knife sheath. I don't know, is that right? I feel like this should be kind of, there we go. So pretty nice. I do like the kind of basic look that they have here, the basic aesthetic. Just all green with kind of a lighter green up top, and then down below it's a little bit darker. These guys are nicknamed the green shirts. So of course they're gonna have the green shirt. Not too bad. Go through the articulation real quick. Of course, as we said before, we have the head joint up top of the neck and then the other ball joint at the top of the torso. So you get that double movement. Looks down about like that. Looks up like that. Stomach crunch is gonna help out with that. I mean, this guy is pretty flexible here. Look at that. You got the swivel and pivot at the waist. Shoulders go up and around. We got that double jointed elbow. Sometimes it's not so easy to get them both to move. There we go. Pinless, of course. And then we got the pivot. Where's that pivot? Yeah, the pivot's down there at the bottom of the palm. And we got the twist on the wrist. We got the drop down hips, ball joints right in there. They pop back up. Thigh cut, double jointed knees, cut at the boot, and then of course the tilt and the pivot on the ankle rocker. So pretty nice. I know that the store down the street, a comic book store, has a few of these, as well as the bats, so I might go down there and splurge. I think they're charging a little more than retail, but that's okay, because a lot of other people are charging much more than that. I think they're marked at 28 bucks, which I don't think is too bad. They're good guys, local. I like to support them. So decent figure, pretty tight in the joints. The paint's looking good. I do like both head sculpts, but I think this dude's is superior, I would say. But I would like to have one of each out of package, hanging out with the Joes. So might have to pick up at least one more. Let's get this guy geared up and then let's go into some comparisons. Here we got the Trooper up on the turntable, and I gotta say, this is a very nice figure. Couple little issues, I guess. You got the knee there, and I'm sure it's just with my figure, but it looks scratched up. Now there's another line here on this one, so I guess it's a molding thing. But I looked under the strap. There's no line going up onto the thigh. Over here, it is. So I don't know what's going on with that, but unfortunate. I can't cry too hard about it. Here we have the Trooper in the position of telling the rest of the troops to hold fast. He's putting up that fist, kind of like Schwarzenegger does in Predator. You know, and it kind of, everyone is supposed to stop and freeze and kind of check out your whereabouts and get a good handle on the situation. You know, maybe there's some bad guys, some cobras lurking around in the jungle. And speaking of which, I do like the aesthetic here, the look. It is old school, even though, you know, this is still what they wear in current time and in the present. And it just shows that the military garb hasn't changed all that much. Now there's a lot of technical stuff going on and just very fancy high-tech stuff and just new advances in clothing and blah blah blah. But if we're getting down to the basics, which this guy is, he's kind of a grunt. And, you know, it just shows, like, you could see this guy wearing this in present day warfare, in the battle arena, whatever. Or you could see this guy in Vietnam, right? Or even World War II, you know? So this is similar to what they wore. And that helmet is a really cool kind of drawback. I love the style. It's very old school. I like the little shield that comes down the visor. So sharp looking figure. That's unfortunate, but I can move on, I think. Oh, God damn it. We also like to ask ourselves when we're doing these reviews, what could make this action figure better? And perhaps some light. That might work. But, like, you know, maybe we could throw in a backpack. This is a grunt. He should probably have his backpack for supplies. He's a youngster, you know. As they go through war, as you see in, like, shows like Band of Brothers, they start shedding their shit. They know what they need and don't need, but this looks like a youngster. Before he really joins the ranks of G.I. Joe, he's just another soldier. So give him that backpack, a little more storage. Maybe you could clamp in this rifle or whatever rifle he doesn't want to be carrying in his hand. That would be cool. And also blast effects would be awesome. Seriously, like, just throw in one blast effect. Maybe give blast effect and like a smoke effect. Seems like it's a little bent here. Fix that shit. So, yeah. All right, we're going to move on to comparisons. I got to think about what I'm going to rate this guy, but I think it's going to be pretty decent. It's going to be on the, probably around the 7s. And here we got the Trooper hanging out with his fellow G.I. Joe teammates. We got Duke, CoverGirl, and Stalker, all part of the retro wave. All came on card, all have their bases. Let's check out the height of this guy here. The Trooper is about just under 6 1/4 inch, and that's with the stand. I think, was that right? Yeah. Yep. So there we have it. And I do like all the colors here. I mean, it's all like green and some beige and brown, and I like that. You know, it's kind of old school feeling. We got a bunch of, you know, early members that we saw on the cartoon and in the comics here. And I would say the retro cards are a much improved version of each character. This Stalker is more true to the old school Stalker and to the look of the cartoon. CoverGirl, obviously, I mean, come on. Can't get much worse than that one fucking butterfaced one. And then this Duke, just with the accessories. He did not come with the flag. That is a American flag that I got from Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ho! Right? We better calm down though, because otherwise Shiki's gonna come in here and make an appearance, and we don't want that. No, we don't. Because we got CoverGirl. Here we have our Trooper next to Grunt. Now, Grunt was a figure that came out that you could either army build with, because he is kind of that basic look, but I went with he is an actual character. So he is a individual. In my eyes, he always was, but I have the option because I have about 3 or 4 of these sitting in storage. So, very nice figure though. I do really like the Grunt. I kind of kept him as an individual instead of an army builder because I knew eventually we were going to get some form of this. And we did. So I'm a fucking genius. And I'm sure that eventually we are going to get a female version. You know, we're getting the female Crimson Guards. We got the Valkyries. It was only a matter of time where we got a female army builder for the Joes. I don't think we've gotten that yet. So, and this is what I was talking about. You got that rifle, which is affixed to the backpack. So a little more storage, just your basic backpack, maybe with these 2 prongs on the side here. You can see that. So the rifles can plug in just right where the trigger is there. So that probably would have been key and would have boosted this guy up maybe half a point on my ratings, and we're looking at about a 7 thus far. Pretty happy with this figure. Let's bring in some more army builders here. I'm just gonna drop them down instead of doing the whole pause recording, start recording, recycle, whatever. We got the Diver from the 2-pack, G.I. Joe in the yellow. We got the Grim Viper, looking scary as hell, with his fucking Jesse the Body minigun. Gonna have me some fun. Oh, that was the other guy. But so yeah, there we go. And just for the hell of it, Major Blood. Just because I like blood. So there we have it. 7 out of 10. Decent figure. I do like it. I might as well keep most of these guys out here. Like, basically, I guess the Grim Viper is very much the same color too. Like, they're all green and brown. Maybe this Grim Viper's gonna flip. He gonna flip and join the Joes. But again, look at all the green, some beige, some brown, but basically we're getting a lot of green going on here. A little segregated here. It wasn't on purpose. So yeah, like, I just like this old school feel. Like I said, this guy, you could see in this outfit, it's timeless, you know, and you could see this guy running around in like the jungles of Vietnam, or jumping out of an airplane on D-Day during World War II. All of these guys, you know, 40s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and today. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Yeah, what's coming next? Let's see here. I don't know what's, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do, I don't know. I'm going to pause, though. All right, so coming up next, G.I. Joe. Damn you, Sheiky. Oh, find your peace. You're an animal. All right, let's go. All right, so coming up next, I'm gonna do this, and we're so close to getting to that original lineup of G.I. Joe, the very first wave of A Real American Hero. So I'll probably leave these guys out here, at least most of them. And we're gonna do these guys next, followed by, woo! The Nature Boy, the Nate. Styling and profiling the AEW Ric Flair. And then we're gonna do Werewolf by Night. And I'm gonna put those up by Wednesday night, all three of them. Promise. You can trust me, guys. All right, so guys, that's gonna finish it up for the Trooper, and that's a 7 out of 10. I was just joking around, having a good time. But so yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys. I appreciate it. Peace out. Yo, we getting crazy. This is gonna be the next review right here. All right, so we got Steeler and Short Fuse, and then we got the MMS with Hawk. 2 for 1, 3 for 1 even. It's all his fault.